Okay, this is lesson 2.7, solving equations by graphing. And we're going to look at a couple things here, graphing wise, and solve then for zeros of the function. We're on page 133, and the first thing we're going to talk about is intercepts. Intercepts are where a graph touches the axis, and x or y. So we have an x-intercept and we have a y-intercept. The x-intercept has coordinates of some number c, 0, so it's some sort of constant, and then 0. The y-intercept is 0c, but they are numbers, okay? So where it touches the x and y axis, all right? And you can see on page 133, I'll just make a parabola myself, okay? Like this. Let's say that I had something like this. The vertex is there, okay, 2 over. Something like this is just a normal parabola. We just graph it. Okay. So the y-intercept right here is where it touches the y-axis is 0 and -4, and it has two intercepts on the x-axis. One is at 2, 0, and the other is at -2, 0. And you can see those are the intercepts. And notice how I write them. The y-intercept is has 0 and then a number, and the x-intercept is the opposite. Okay. Sometimes the x-intercepts are called zeros of the function. Okay, I'm going to take this out, look at the next one. If I do this, these are sometimes called zeros of the function. Okay, they're also called solutions. There's lots of different names for them. Okay, we're going to look at x and y intercepts of certain functions, and then we're going to use a root to find how to find them. The first set of directions says find the x and y intercepts of the graphs of each function. So let's say that I have f of x equals a -2/3 x plus 2. Okay? This is a linear function. Okay? All of the ones that you're going to look at are going to be linear functions. Okay? And so we're going to graph this. Now, if you remember right, I'm going to show you how to graph this. I'm going to put it right under here. Maybe we can see both at the same time. Slide this up. Okay. So if I'm going to graph this, I'm going to go up 2. Do you remember that? Because of this is the y-intercept. Do you remember that, CJ?
Yeah.
Okay. And then from then this is the slope. So this is the y-intercept, and this is the slope, right? Okay. And it says find the x and y intercepts. Well, you already know the y-intercept, right? Okay. We're gonna look at the x-intercepts here in a minute. So now I'm gonna go down 2, right? Down 2 from this point, 1, 2, and to the right 3. Okay, and then I take a straight edge. And I graph it. So, the question says, find the x and y intercepts. Okay, the x is
0,
3, 0. The y is
0, 2.
There you go. And there you have it. Now, if you have a linear function, you're only going to have one x or one y usually, right? Okay? Do you want to see another one of those? Okay, sometimes they'll do a fraction. Let's take a look at number 20. This is number 20 on the assignment. It is, I'll just write it out. I'm gonna put it off to the side. Actually, let's put it on this one. Number 20 says f of x equals 1/2 x minus 3/4. Okay, this one's a little harder because it has a fraction, it has a couple fractions, right? Okay, so we do a negative 3/4 right here, correct? That is your y-intercept. Does everybody understand that? Now to go 1/2 is we go up 1, which is right here, and to the right 2, right? So when you have this, your line looks like this. Do I need to show the 1/2 again? Let's take a look at it again. I go down to negative 3/4, which is approximately here, and then I go up 1, which would be right here, 1 square, and then over 2. Okay? So the y-intercept is fairly easy because it's already given to you. It's 0, 3/4, negative 3/4, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm looking here at 20. I'm curious how close we have to get here.
It looks like a 1/3. 1/3.
They say
Ben, Noah, and Braxton, please come to Mrs. Beck's room. Thank you.
they say 1.5. 0. Okay, just so you know. But the problem is, I guess the point I'm trying to make is sometimes it's very difficult to see that, isn't it? If you're off on the intercept. Any questions there?
If
Alright.
we have like one of those on a test, where
Uh,
it's like 1/2 some, and we put like 1/3
If
instead of 1/2.
if you're close, I will give it to you. If you're completely off, no. Okay?
It was 1/1.
Yes, it was 1.5. They say 3/2. Okay. Now the next set of directions says on 22 through 27, it says solve each equation by using the graph of its related function. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. Show each equation by using the graph of its related function. Oh, they want you to use a graph, don't they? They'll start with the graph and then I'll show you. Let's take a look at number 22. Number 22, is there a question?
Nope.
Okay, is 0 equals 2x minus 11. Now, you'll notice that what replaced f of x? 0. That means that we want to find, we replaced y basically with 0. So if we replace y with 0, what are we looking for?
X.
We're looking for an x-intercept. They are also called, it's called solving. Wherever it touches the x-axis is called solving the equation. So we want to know where we're touching the x-axis. Now we know where we're touching the y-axis, right? Negative 11. All right, so I'm going to write this in there. 0 equals 2x minus 11. I think I have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 would be about right here, right? Whoops, you're not seeing it. It's right here. Actually, can I turn this sideways?
Yes.
That might be better. Let's see if I can get it all in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? What's my slope? It's right here. What's my slope? My slope is positive 2, right? So I want to head towards the x-axis, right? I want to go up 2 and over 1. So up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1. Keep going until you hit what?
The x-axis.
Right, and I've crossed it right there. So now I draw a straight line, and I got to figure out where I'm touching it. Right? It looks like a half to me, but let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I go back here. Oh, whoops. And the question is, this is number 22. The question says, solve it. So solve it is, my answer is x equals 11 halves or 5 and a half. That's where it touches the x-axis. Now you guys want to know how to check yourself? I want graphs, by the way, Harper. I want graphs. But you check yourself, Harper. Do you know what I mean by I want graphs? I want you to graph it and then find. You know what I mean by that? I do this, and then this is 5.5, right, where it touches the x-axis. But you can check it just by solving this equation: 2x equals 11, and x equals 11/2. So should you miss any on this? No, you should not miss any. Okay. All right. Any questions about that?
I'm confused on how you just checked it like that. Like, how do you know that's right?
I solve for x. I move the 11 over. I go plus and I subtract 11, negative 11 from both sides.
So 11 equals 2x.
So minus negative 11, and this is 2x over here, and this is 11, and then I just divide by 2. Does that make sense, Bo?
Yeah, but what do you, the 11 over 2 is what?
Is where it touches the x-axis.
Oh.
It's the x-intercept. When you solve an equation, that's what you're doing. But Bo, the question says do it graphically. So I want you to do it like this. But when you're done, see where it touches the x-axis? So when you're done, though, I want you to use this method to check it.
Okay.
All right? Okay, so then let's take a look at the last problem that you're going to do. The last problem you're going to do is number 28. Okay, we'll kind of do that one together a little bit. It says elevator capacity. We've all been on an elevator. We all know that there's a certain amount weight limit on it that you can't be over. The maximum capacity of a service elevator in the new town hall is 1,200 pounds. Sounds about right. A delivery person who weighs 180 pounds is bringing boxes of paper to the 4th floor. Each box of paper weighs 60 pounds. Write an equation for this situation. All right? Okay, so we need an equation, right? So we got to have slope and all that stuff. Well, first of all, how much does he weigh?
180.
And that never changes, does it?
No.
All right, so that's your y-intercept, 180. Never changes. He's going to weigh 180 every time. But he's bringing, we don't know how many boxes he's bringing, right? So x equals the number of boxes he's bringing. How much does each box weigh? 60 pounds. So how do we represent the weight of the boxes?
60x.
60x. And that, my fast furry friends, is your slope. All right? Now, what's that got to equal or be less than?
1,200.
1,200 pounds. So that's A, right? This is A. B says, write the related function. Write the related function. And all you do, and this freaks students out, is for the 1,200, we replace it with f of x. That's a function. Now it's a function. We still know that we got to stay at 1,200 pounds. Then it says on C, graph the function and find its 0. Please do not graph the function. Okay? Do not graph the function. Oh, wait a minute. We can simplify this on B, can't we?
Divide everything by 60.
Yeah, we need to divide everything by 60.
That'd still be 50. Oh, never mind.
It would be
It'd be x plus 3.
no, I didn't. I said that wrong. My bad. We're going to take this and we're going to subtract 1,200 from both sides. That's how they want it, I think. On the first one, this is still A. They want, so you're going to subtract 1,200. So you get 60x minus what? What's 180 minus 1,200?
Negative.
1,020?
Yeah.
Okay, now what they did was they wrote it as a 0 function. You remember those ones we just did?
Yeah.
So that's A. B then we would replace with f of x equals 60x minus 1,020. I'm sorry about that. Okay? Now it says find the 0. So we got to go back on C. We're going to solve this one, right? It says find the 0. We're going to solve this one. How do you solve this one without graphing it? We don't want to graph it because it's huge. solve for x. So I move the 1020 over here and do what?
Divide by 60.
Divide by 60.
Would it be negative or no?
No, once you move it over, it's positive,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So what's your answer? What's x? It's what?
17.
It's 17. So how many boxes can he carry? What is the maximum amount?
17 boxes.
17 boxes. If it goes over that, he can't be on there.
I mean, if he's lifting that much, he's
He's a man, isn't he? All right. So your assignment, Jaws, will you put it up there? Page 135, numbers 13 through 28. It is due tomorrow.
Can we turn off the heater?
Yep. Are you hot? It's all that hair, buddy. I'm sorry. All right. I'll shut her off.